Ireland is a land that has it all. Incredible scenery with miles of open spaces that are crisscrossed with ancient tracks and remote wild trails. It's a walker's paradise. It's a land of history, folklore and legends that date back thousands of years, the remains of which are still here in the landscape to be seen and experienced by all. From early monastic settlements to remote scholarly islands, from ancient stone circles to pre-Christian communities. It's a land of writers, musicians and poets. From the wild Atlantic Way to wild landscapes. From the coastal villages and towns that resonate with music and song to the quiet, peaceful trails in the mountain and lakeside areas. Ireland has it all.
My career as a journalist has taken me on many adventures, reporting on events that have changed history. I'm used to chasing stories, but I didn't often get the time to indulge my passion for walking with my interest in the history and beauty of our island. This week, I'm delighted to walk in Tipperary along part of St. Declan's Way Pilgrim Trail. My name is Tommie Gorman, and this is my Tracks and Trails. St. Declan's Path is the trail taken by Declan in the 5th century to meet St. Patrick. It runs from Ardmore, County Waterford, to Cashel in County Tipperary. My plan is to start in the beautiful market town of Cahir and retrace St. Declan's steps through Ardfinnan and then head into the Knockmealdowns mountains.
I'm at that stage in my life where I'm starting to do things that I've wanted to do for years. I'm seeing beautiful parts of our own country. So I've come here to County Tipperary for a start. We're going to walk a stretch of St. Declan's Way. I've got all the essentials, but before that, a special treat. I'm going in to see this 13th century Cahir Castle. And it's something I'm really looking forward to because it's a magnificent building in pristine condition.
Built in the 13th century and situated on the rocky island on the River Suir, Cahir Castle is one of Ireland's largest and best preserved castles. It was laid siege to by the Earl of Essex in the 1590s and later by Oliver Cromwell in 1650. It also has provided the backdrop to films such as Excalibur and The Last Duel.
It's overpowering, really, when you come to a place like this. So many stories. And I suppose what strikes me is how wonderful it is that we have preserved this place, that we've brought it back to life, and that we can now contextualize it and enjoy it.
Leaving behind the castle and its colourful past, it doesn't take long to come across poignant reminders of our more recent history. Before I take to St. Declan's Way, I'm able to pay my respects to those who contributed to two very contrasting chapters of Ireland's past.
I find this very moving because it's something we've got good at in recent years, re-examining our recent history and paying respect where respect is due. Like, this is a monument to the men and women who fought in 1916 in the Easter Rising under the tricolour. Over there, in the other side of the car park, we came across a monument to the people from this area who fought and died in the First World War in many different regiments. You had Protestant names, Catholic names, rich and poor, people who went to that First World War for different reasons. And I think it's kind of fitting how in this decade of centenaries we have been teasing out and revisiting that very, very sensitive chapter in our history.
St. Declan's Trail was revitalised in recent years as part of the walk scheme. It stays faithful to the ancient highways where possible, and the paved path makes for a very accessible getaway. whether you're on 2 feet or 3 wheels.
Hello, ladies. I walk most days. I think I need to do it to stay alive and stay healthy. One of the things I notice now, more and more, is that people see it as a lifestyle thing. And you're also struck when you're out by the number of non-Irish people you meet. And they seem to be enjoying the countryside, enjoying the experience, and just, I suppose, indulging in the beauty of the place. And like on a path like this, you see how much effort has been put into developing these kind of trails. And I think it's part of this modern Ireland. Something that we really should be kind of proud of. Certainly something I'm conscious of.
One of my first stops along the route will be to the Swiss Cottage. Built in the 1800s, this idealised country cottage is tucked away just off the River Suir. Here I am meeting Patricia Hassett, who will be my guide.
Hello, Patricia. Delighted to meet you.
Delighted to meet you too, Tommy.
What a place to be working. What's the backstory of the original owners?
Well, this cottage was built in 1810. It was built for Lord and Lady Cahir. They owned Cahir Castle. At this period, they lived in what's now Cahir House Hotel. And it was in a particular style of architecture called a cottage Orné. And it was meant to blend with its natural surroundings. It was meant to blend with nature. And that's why you can see the roof isn't level, windows and doors, different shapes and sizes. So it's quite unique. These cottages were in fashion for a short period. And as far as we're aware, this is the only original cottage Orné still remaining in Ireland. The late Sybil Connolly, the former Irish dress designer, she was in charge of the interior for the restoration. She designed wallpaper and fabrics based on old designs, and she chose a lot of museum furniture, which we have on loan from the National Museum.
So this is a huge link to her.
Oh, it most certainly is, yeah. She loved this cottage, yeah.
You're a lucky woman to be working here. I can see why you're so happy.
Yeah, well, it's certainly one of the best locations in Ireland, so I can't complain.
Lovely to meet you.
And
Thanks
you,
very
Tommy.
much, and I'll be back.
Please do. Bye.
This is just gorgeous. Beautiful day, quietness of the countryside, nature all around you. How are you?
Lovely day, eh?
I got interested in walking when I started doing the Camino with a friend. Crossed the Pyrenees, did the first stretch. We've been back twice since, and we'll complete it maybe next year. But like, look at this. This is our version of the Camino. Before coming here, I did some research on St. Declan's Way, and I knew nothing about the fact that for 1,500 years, pilgrims have been taking this route.
Crossing the River Suir at Ardfinnan, I'm overlooked by the 12th century Ardfinnan Castle. It was built by Prince John, son of Henry II, to help protect Anglo-Norman strongholds in the area. Leaving the shore for the last time, I'm now on peaceful country roads that take me by the monastic ruins of Ladies Abbey.
This is extraordinary. In the middle of the countryside, you come across a 14th century, 13th century graveyard. And look at this one here. No dates. Which century? There are graves here, people who were buried here hundreds of years ago. I wonder, has anybody been buried here this century? Died the 25th of December, 2022, Christmas Day. My own sister died in 2016, and when we went on the Camino that summer, we brought a plaque with us, and in a real quiet place in the middle of the Spanish countryside, we erected the plaque on a tree, just with her name, just in memory of her. And I met somebody at the showgrounds in Sligo recently, at a Sligo Rovers match, and he said to me, "Tommy, I saw your sister's plaque on the Camino." "25th of December, Christmas Day."
On the next part of my journey, I'm meeting local student Rory Carney. He's a frequent hiker in these parts. He has just returned from the World Kayaking Championships in the US.
So tell me about the championships. How many were there?
So there was over 30 countries there with 300 plus athletes competing. So
How'd you get on?
I came 23rd in the junior category.
Good man, that's not a bad start.
No, I was pretty happy with it.
So how did you get into the hiking? It's unusual to find a guy your age involved in hiking.
So I've lived on the mountains all my life. So I've kind of just been going out every day and walking on these trails and these paths. During exams, during like busy seasons at school, I get just a bit of peace out of it. I get away from the books.
Do they encourage you at school to get into this?
They would, yeah. During TY, they give you an option. They give everyone an option to go out. They take you down onto St. Declan's Way, and then that just allows you to go out. You can, if you're not used to walking, you get a chance to walk. So it is a good way to encourage it.
The great thing about walking at this time of the year is it's usually very dry. Oh, we've been lucky.
We have.
So I think I'm going to be heading this direction, St. Declan's Way. And
that's my way. I'm heading
okay.
home.
Well, old pal.
No, thank you very much.
Good luck with the studies.
Thank you.
Hope you go well and don't work too hard. Cheers, Rory. It's 30 years, January 1994, since I was diagnosed with cancer. And one of the reasons I come out for exercise is not just a physical thing, but it's also good for your health. It sort of reminds you that you're alive. And you know, you come to a place like this, autumn, seasons of change, the river flowing, time passing, and yet, like, it's just so magical. And you get energy, you get a sense of gratitude from a day like this.
If you enjoy the show, follow us on social and tell us your story. We'd love to hear about your tracks and trails, especially if it's influenced you in any way. Has it got you out walking? What were the benefits? Your feedback could inspire our next show.